about this webinar. So basically, this webinar is dedicated both for e-commerce marketers and also for B2B marketers. So some of these tips, hacks, you can use both in when you have an online store or you are B2B company. So I think it will be much more valuable to all of you. And maybe let's make some background about that. So this is that I'm responsible for marketing development at CallPage, but previously I was head of marketing at one of the leading European marketing automation providers that was focused on online stores. And before that, also I was project manager in one of the biggest Polish IT corporations. And this is that from my experience, this is that as marketers, we have this particular view by our bosses, by company CEOs, that marketing is that department that only generate costs. Yeah, so this is the first source of cost in all companies, and when some management board decide what the cost, it's basically most often that first goes to marketing department. And as marketers, we provide a much more value than that, and we can and we have a large impact to increase sales in our companies, but doing marketers' job, not salespeople job. And I think this webinar will be helpful for you to implement some of these things, because some of them are pretty basic things and some of them are pretty advanced ways to increase your website sales. Going to the point. There are two approaches to increasing sales from the website. So the first thing that most marketers are focused is the conversion optimization. So basically we are optimizing conversion of our Facebook ads, of our AdWords campaigns, on our forms in our websites. And the second thing is that we are crazy about traffic generation, but we have to know that not all traffic is equal, and some of the traffic sources are much more valuable for us than others. And as once banks make this wonderful research and they make a survey to US marketers, it happens that only 23% of marketers are satisfied with their conversion rates. And so this is that most marketers, especially this who are working in digital marketing, are focused on website conversion rates, and only 23% of us are satisfied of our results, and the rest of us are mostly unhappy about our results. But we can change that with a couple of tricks. So going to the point, sometimes you can imagine that that the first we have at our website many touch points with website visitors. So one thing that we can save someone from exit from our website is, of course, exit pop-up. But sometimes we can do more, and this is way how we can do that. So basically, Mozilla, a creator of Mozilla Firefox website browser, made this research about internet users, and it happens that most of internet users open only up to 5 cards in the browser in the same time. And you can imagine that when someone is searching the web, for example, for buying a shoes, yeah, and he has a couple of online stores when he find the shoes that he is interested in. And one of the things we can do this way is to make happen that this person will, after switching a card, return to our website without any other activities than than changing the name of the page title. So this is one thing that Facebook is doing. So in Facebook, when you see always this is that when someone has a notification message or something like that, the web page title in the browser change, and we can do the same thing in online store. So for example, you can imagine that we can, when someone has intention to switch cart with our website to cart of the competitor, we can display, instead of static web page title, we can display them about 20 characters message to stay on our website. So one thing I can recommend you is to make this web page title dynamic. How we can do that is simple. It's just one line of JavaScript code. If someone wants example of that code, I can send them via email. So don't worry, I will send this after the webinar. And this is that. So you can imagine that most of us, if you are an online store owner or an online store marketeer, there's a huge thing about bounce rates in our website. So someone is browsing our website, he's adding products to cart, and then he switch our website to the competitors, and we can save our card with one of these things. This is a dynamic web page title. So this is pretty much about example from the Facebook, but you can still use this on your online store. So instead of name Facebook and the name next to the icon in the browser kite name, you can always display, for example, back to the order, or stay with us and you will receive 20% discount or something like that. So you can think about that, about this extra place you can use to save your abandoned carts with the name web page title, and it would be not so annoying like some of the pop-ups. Going to the next thing. So basically, one thing, you can imagine that we have a lot of traffic on our website, but most of this traffic isn't in our CRM and marketing automation software, and we can't communicate them outside the website. But there are some services and tools like Remintrax that can send personalized emails to anonymous website visitors on your website. So you can imagine a simple thing. Some anonymous visitor on your website is browsing your products, is browsing your laptops, your tablets, your mobile phones you are offering in your online store, and then you can only communicate them in normal way only on your website, or using remarketing in Facebook ads or in Google AdWords. But you can also use the simple thing like Remintrax. This is the tool that match cookies from your website with their email database, and they can send personalized offers of your products to specific anonymous visitors on your website. So in that way, you have also next communication channel, communicate with your anonymous website visitors, and even if you don't have the data in your CRM or marketing automation software. So it's pretty good idea to use that. But if I was really speaking about the first tip about dynamic web page title, is only it's free, so you have to work with this with your front end developer or webmaster. In the second thing about using Remintrax, you have to buy the service from the company. And going to the next point, abandoned cart saving. So this is sometimes is that maybe I will answer Pablo question. What tool did I mention is Remintrax. Don't worry, I will send this all tools I mentioned in this webinar to you in the email with recording and materials, so you don't miss anything. I promise. I'm going to the next point, abandoned cart survey. So basically, one thing to recover abandoned cart survey, abandoned cart is to make this exit pop-ups with when someone has exit intent, and then you are displaying them pop-up with sign up for our newsletter. You will receive 20% discount, or stay with us a couple of minutes more and you will receive some free samples or something like that. But one thing you can also use, you can use instead of pop-ups with communicating a discount, you can use surveys. So basically, what I mean by that. So you can imagine that someone is in process of buying on your website, so he added products to the cart, and he goes, for example, he goes to the next step of ordering, so he goes to payment method, and then suddenly he wants to leave the website. And in that case, you can display them a survey about the reason why they want to abandon the cart, cancel the order before finishing buying. And in that case, I strongly recommend using tools like Surveycate to measure that. And you can also communicate solutions to their problems. So you can imagine that for some of them, there's will be problem that you have no free shipping, free delivery policy. And in that case, if you make a survey with the option that I'm willing to abandon a cart because there is no free delivery, you can always make this happen. That if someone choose this option in the survey, then he has a discount for free delivery service. And in that case, you will still have this person to buy your product, and he will stay on your website and finish his order. And this is one thing. Other things you can think that sometimes we don't know what stops people from buying from our shop. So someone is in process of buying, he adds product to the carts, and then he stops and then he can abandon the cart, without any reason we can think about. So we can think that giving them multiple options, people who will abandon the cart, give us some feedback about what we should improve in our online store to decrease abandoned carts rate. So for example, it can be something like that you don't have a refund policy, you don't have a clear policy about privacy or something like that. And people, if you see the feedback from the service, you can change this in your in policy of your online store to make this abandoned cars be not so usually as it was before. And going to the next point, this is the point that is mostly important for new businesses, also both for e-commerce stores and B2B companies. This is that we have to build the trust from our customers, and we don't have a lot of reviews, a lot of references for our services, for our products. So I strongly recommend that. What is, for example, Uber is using. So this is that you have to be preparing for multiple steps reviews that are strongly dedicated for mobile devices. What I mean by that? So basically, after the purchasing your service in the internet, in your website, there is always some autoresponder to the buyer about thank you for choosing us and for your order. Can you give us some feedback about our product and our services and about order? And I strongly recommend that it should be in couple of steps. So the first step is should be pretty simple. So you can ask them to rate from 0 to 10, from 1 to 5, from thumb up or thumb down or something like that, from 1 star to 5 stars. So in that first step, you can build some value about how the process of buying was in your store. And the second thing is that only on the next step you're asking people for more opinions to write open answers about your service, about your product. And in that case you will build this trust because you have a lot of reviews on your website. And this is the case also, just I'm telling you, like you're all of us using Uber, especially in Poland. So basically most of that messages are receiving on your mobile phones. So you should think that this email, this website should be dedicated for mobile versions of the website. Because when most of the people using emails on mobile devices, and this is that. I'm going to the next fifth point of of today's webinar. So this is that we can ask people who intend to cancel to stop ordering during the process of buying from us, but we can also ask our current customers what could have prevented them from buying from us. So we can imagine that you have some clients, and you can send them a simple open question so they have open answer about that, because we don't know what they will write about. So you have to write them about something like what this is the thing that you hesitate to buy from us, but you buy from us. Yeah. So you have asked this question to your current customers, and you can expect some unusual answers. So you can expect that someone will write that your refund policy is unclear. So this is the signal that you have to write your refund policy to make this more clear, so that more people will don't hesitate to buy from you. So this is the question, and also you can also use for that this to duplicate like the previous one service. And the next thing I want to speak about, this is about website speed and performance optimization. So basically, time of loading the page is that many researchers show that time of loading of the page is very essential. The expected time of loading for most of the internet users is 2 seconds. So this is the 2 seconds is the time that people are expecting that your website is fully loaded. And the next thing is that in the next 5 seconds, if the page will don't fully load, the people will abandon your website. So this is pretty crucial things for marketing. And also, if you have some very specific content management system that built on your website, this is what you have to focus on. So you can imagine that sometimes it happens that you have images of your products, of your graphics are way too high, and you should work about compress them and make them smaller, so your website will be loading faster. So you can use this pretty good tool from Google, and this is free, Google Speed Insights, and it measures and it counts what things on your website you should work on to make your website loading faster. So sometimes it would be your images on your website. Sometimes it would be some unnecessary scripts on your website that you can throw up with help of your front-end developer or webmaster. And sometimes it's just things that they are not responsive for mobile or tablet devices. So you have to think about that. You have to use that. You can use that website tool to see which things on your website you have to optimize to make your website load faster. And this is pretty simple thing. And this Google Audit is free for use, free of charge. So this is pretty good thing. And also, like up the right on the chat, also Pingdom is also one of these things that is pretty cool about that, and this is good alternative for Google Speed Insight. Going to the next one, meta tags. So this is much more about traffic generation than about conversion optimization on your website, but this is that you can imagine that meta tags. This is if you type something on Google and you have results. This is the first thing you have to think about to work on, because this is this is something like invitation to your website. So you have to think about this as things that you have to be specifically designed for new website. So one thing is meta title, and you have to think about this to present your biggest asset, your brand. What the purpose of your solution, of your product, of your online store is. And the second thing is meta description, and it should be much more description about up to 156 characters, and should provide what people who click on your link will get when they get into the website. So also one thing is that, for example, Zalando is always is using this pretty amazing thing. So if you type shoes on Zalando, you always have this pretty good description, and you always have a funny call to action that persuade people who are browsing the internet for searching clothes or shoes to click on them, not the competitors. And first thing you have to do, if you don't know if you have a unique meta tags, so meta title and meta description, is just simple type in Google site and your domain. And this is that, and in that case you will have only links to your website on Google search results with all meta description and meta titles you have. And you have to remember also that it should be personalized to each website. So the good way to do that is that not every subpage of your website has the same meta description and meta title. Going to the next point, building a trust. So this is one case we have at the beginning of the CallPage. So you can imagine we are a young startup without no experience, without no clients and all this stuff. So we have to work on this on. So the first thing we have to do is to make some cover in the media. So at first we have to work with journalists to make some public relation activities that they can write about us, our brand. So, but this is not only that. We have to go for major media like Forbes or something like that. If we are some specific, we are working in some specific niche, we have to go for our industry medias, so they can make articles about our company, about our solutions. And also the second thing, this was pretty challenging, to get some reviews, to get some opinions about our service from our customers at the beginning. So this is that if we have something like that, when we have some press media coverage, when we have some reviews, we have to show them on every possible way in our website, in our email marketing campaigns, in our lead nurturing campaigns, to show people that even if we are not big brand, we are not Amazon, we are not Facebook or something like that, we still have customers, and they love us. and they trust us, so you can also trust with us. So I strongly recommend to work for getting some reviews, so getting some media coverage for your companies, and then uh, put this information on your website. Yeah, so this is pretty challenging for young businesses, for small businesses, but can be, pretty exciting, and can bring you a lot of value, because many people doesn't buy basically because they don't trust website they come on. Personally, I have about 10 cold emails about different marketing softwares every day, and the first thing I am always looking for is the reviews from some people, from some influencers that I'm aware of, or some clients that I am aware of. So that then I have this. Then I can make a judgment if I really want to make uh, even a book a demo with them to see their software or their service, what they can offer with us. Also, the next thing, this is pretty important thing, because sometimes is pretty can do pretty amazing things. So you can imagine that you are online store or B2B company. It happens to all of that, and you migrate your website from one platform to the other. So you have if you are an online store, you can, for example, think that you have at first your online store was on Magento, and then you change your platform for Shopify. And also, if you are building, you have a website on Sales Manago marketing automation software, and then you switch your marketing site automation software with your content management system to HubSpot. Then you migrate your website, and it sometimes happens that not all URL addresses, subpages addresses are the same, and something this happens that, if you run ads, you don't remember to change the URLs of addresses. Sometimes is that you don't use 301 command to move your specific website to the other domain, and all the stuff. And this is the thing that most people just simply don't personalize this communicate. So basically, this is that if someone goes to your website and type a mistake in the URL, it's always make a default communication from the Google for page not found, or product not found, and then you have this big regret that you switch the platform for other, and some people doesn't use you have a decrease on your website sales. So what you can do then? When you can do that. So what I recommend to you is to work on your 404 and product was not found website. You can do this by plugins in WordPress or in Magento or Shopify, or use your marketing automation software to do that. And then you have custom website instead of this default website that you can see all the internet in the all the website that are pretty the same. You can use one amazing website about that. So when, for example, in this example that I make a slide on, is example of I was searching for someone from from the Max, and I can't find that. And instead of default website that only after that I can go to Google and type again and search again, and it would be pretty frustrating. They show me the website when I have the full menu of the website, so I can navigate to the specific category of the product from where I can buy from. And also I have a search engine, so I can type what I'm looking for. And in that case, I am still on the website, and I'm not leaving the website for competitors. Even I don't find the product because URL was wrong. And going to the next point. So this is pretty obvious things, but many people don't think about that. This is navigation optimization. So this is that when someone has a large number of products in his offer, or he has a lot of sub pages on his website, it's good to have some navigation on his website, and this is one thing to do. And the second thing you have to think about is to make this navigation optimization. So there are two good approaches to make this happen. One thing, this is pretty simple, but this is not that I recommend, because second one is much more convenient, is to make this make your menu just simple. Make this your menu and submenus order in alphabetic order. Yeah, so this is pretty simple thing that person who is first time on your website is and he's navigating through the menu. He's obviously going from the alphabet, so he can find the right category, right product he's looking for. But the second thing you can do is to make this navigation, your menu, sorted by order by the most search terms on your website. So you can just simply use your Google Analytics accounts and find which products, category of the products people are looking for on your website, and then customize your menu in that way that the products with the most that are most popular will be at the first place on your menu, and then scrolling down to the less popular products. And this is pretty good way to avoid people that the website visitors feel feel loose on your website. Okay, and going to the 11th point. This is not so much about website optimization, traffic generation, but this is one thing you have to think about, because there are a lot of research in the internet, both US, Europe, and Asian studies, that one of the conclusion is that the free delivery that costs half of the discount is much more valuable for the buyers than single discount. So if you have a free delivery policy on your website, you have to communicate that on every possible website you have. So from the first main website to the also in the cart, in the ordering process, you have, in all possible ways, you have to communicate free shipping policy. Because as I said, the last research I read, it was from 2016, and it was made by Shopify. It shows that $10 free delivery value was more valuable to the buyers than $20 discount for the products. So you have to think about if maybe it is a good way to increase our sales on our website from our store. Of course, it always happens for products that are much more valuable than pennies. Okay, and now I want to focus on some other things, and I think this is pretty good thing to do. So some media tricks to increase, social media tricks to increase your website traffic, and going with that your sales. So I have some free tips for you. So basically, this is that, as it was in Google search, that you have to work on your meta description, so meta title and meta description. You can remember that Facebook posts that have images, custom images of your website has 30% higher engagement rate. So what does it mean? So you have to think that every subpage of your domain has different images on the website. So you have to think that you have to customize these images that in Facebook call open graphs to make your post more engagement, so they can get more clicks and more people will go to your website from your post. And also remember that some people are sharing links to your website. So also if they show a post with customized image to your website, most friends of them will click on these links and go to your website. Second thing is that LinkedIn post, this is much more valuable for recruitment companies and B2B companies, generate 98% more comments when they have images. And if you share a YouTube link with your animation about your company, about your service, you have your posts are shared more often. And this is the thing that we can also think that we have to use these appropriate words to have a lot more engagement in our posts. So Facebook is, of course, where tell us, inspire us, discount warming, LinkedIn is created, grow for research, and Twitter follow us, new posts, how the best social media. If you are using these words, you have the better engagement rates on your social media activities, and then you get more traffic to your website, and then you get more sales. And this is the next thing I want to tell you a little bit about social media. This is social share buttons. So basically, in that case, I attach a screen from our online marketing marathon. This is one of our webinar series, and this is provided by our external speakers. And we ask people just simply to click in the left side of the website, to click on the icon of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, to share information about our website with their friends. And this is cool thing because it costs us nothing. When we make a A/B test, it happens that it doesn't change our conversion rates from current visitors, so it doesn't affect people who see these buttons and they still are interested in submission to our webinar series. But when you are asking people for sharing information about your website, and you can ask them directly, writing to them at the end of the website, after the end of the email, after end of the post, some of them are using that and clicking on this link, and then you have a bigger audience because they are sharing this information about you with their friends. And this is pretty simple. You can implement that with SumoMe extension, for example, and it takes 3 minutes to install, and it's ready to use. Going to the 13th point is that we have also to remember how we can create our social media posts to make more to generate more traffic to our website. So one thing that HubSpot done, especially Danzarella, is that they measure in which place of the tweet was the link and how it affects clicks of the post. Yeah, and it happens that we have to attach the link in the post, not at the end of the post, but before the middle of the post. And in that case, we have more people will click on our social post. And this is free to use, and you can use this from the next minute after the webinar. So this is pretty good things when you want to optimize your social media activities, because today's, as you know, Facebook, Twitter are pretty popular. So many people are using that, and it's both working for B2C e-commerce or B2B companies. Going to the next point about content marketing activities and social media activities. That from my experience, I was working. I was working and I am working as supervisor of our content marketing team, and I was working in my previous companies with this also. That we check this that if we create some pretty good content, both some viral videos or blog posts or ebooks or something like that, we always should post the information about this in our social media more than once. So you can imagine that to reach your Twitter followers, you have to post one to tweet to make one tweet post 7 times a day to reach your whole base of followers on Twitter. So you have to think about this. You have to make a calendar of your social media publishing and post the same content more than once. Of course, it can be different text in the post, but the link would be the same. So we can think about that you have to create calendar and make some time sentences when you have to post your hot topic. You have to also to go back with your old posts. For example, we at CallPage we are still promoting our posts from 1 year ago because we saw them that they are pretty hot for our audience, for our website visitors, and still we can use them for our traffic generation activities. And also the thing is that the last thing I want to talk about the webinar, at this webinar, maybe not the last because I don't want to, I want to give you some more valuable content, is that some people, I heard this opinion that some people doesn't make link from their website to the other website, especially if they are making content marketing activities like running a blog or something like that. They don't link to the other website. They don't make references to the sources, or they don't references to the quotes of the some influencers. And this is that. Maybe I will just go back to the Octave question. What is the 14 way? This is that you have to remember that if you are making some social media activities, you're making some posts, you make some content on your blog, you have to remember that you shouldn't just post this only once in each social media channel. You have to make this happen more couple of times in different time sequences. And going to the 15th point, as I said, if you are doing our content marketing activities, it's pretty important to links to make links to the other website, not to our domain, but to the external website. For example, for some industry media website or for some influencer website. So this can affect our website in two positive ways. One positive way is that if someone goes to our website and click on this link, the person from the other website probably is using Google Analytics, because most people now is using Google Analytics, see that there is a traffic from your website, then he sees some things that you can collaborate with them. So you can imagine that at the beginning of the CallPage, when we are kids only, we don't know any marketing influencers, says experts, and we really appreciate that they will hear about us and all this stuff. So we always, in all our blog posts, we mention some of the influencers and link to their website. So when they saw on the Google Analytics that there is some traffic from our website, then they were curious what we are doing, what is the service, and what we are writing about them. So they have some website visitors from us, and then we can make some and then we make with them some marketing activities like free webinars, dedicated ebooks, and all the stuff. So we can imagine that in that case, with linking to the other website, you build some source of some sense of collaboration between you and these other people, with other companies, with other media, with other with marketing with industry influencers, so they can think about you, about that this is the company that I want to work for because they give me a lot of traffic. And the second thing is that if you are going strictly about technical details, so about Google algorithm, when you are not using Google Ads only, you are doing this. You don't run your AdWords campaigns. You only have organic results in your on your company. You can think about that Google algorithms are not so. I'm not so happy with that your website is your domain is the last domain, and don't and your domain doesn't have any links to the other websites. So this is that in that ways you can think about linking to the other pages, because sometimes I heard this opinion that if we link to other pages, it happens that our website is going down in organic results in Google, but this is not true. And maybe I will go as it was the 15 ways to increase sales on your website. I will tell you just simple thing that at CallPage we are doing the 16 way to increase sales on your website, and we are turning them into your website visitors into your customers with sales calls. But I don't want to talk about that so much. So if you are interested in that, I just go to our website, callpage.io, or just wait for tomorrow's materials when you will receive a link to our website, and you will hear more about our service, what we are doing, what is our tool about, and how can you use that for your company to increase sales. And I think this is the good way, good time to have questions from you guys. So if you have any questions, this is the time you can write this on chat. And also, if you have any questions after the webinar, you can simply find me on LinkedIn, Peter Dziedzic, or just write me an email at peter@callpage.io.